Thank you everyone for coming in here. You're going to meet the most amazing woman, I have to say. So Kavita has been a Wall Street lawyer, director of Deutsche Bank, and today she as well, 10 years ago, she embarked on a journey where she started working with women's self-help groups, microcredit, etc., etc. A very unusual arc for a corporate person. Kavita, I want to ask you, what was the trigger that set you off on such a journey?
Well, thank you, Puneeta. Thank you to JLF and Teamworks and the rest of the crew for having me here. I'm really excited to share my journey and particularly to talk about Ayurveda. This arc, I think, people are wired in a certain way. And
जरा आप थोड़ा इनको सुनिए, please. Thank you.
So I believe, people are wired in a certain way, and I think I was born to do this. So I would say I'm a reluctant entrepreneur. I don't know how I got into law. From law, I went on to banking, but I had to hang up my boots, leave that avatar behind and do what I think I was born to do, which is, I live in Hong Kong. I've lived there for 35 years, and I had to come back. I had to come back to my country. I had to come back to my roots. अपनी मिट्टी, देश की मिट्टी बुलाती ही है. And I knew I didn't want to start a charity. I don't believe charity, though in the societal structure, charities are important, but I don't believe they're empowering for the receiver.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to be on the receiving end of a charity. So I wanted to start a social enterprise. And then it was a blank canvas. I didn't know what it would be, but I knew it had to be India, it had to be the earth, and it had to be something which impacted social change. And from there grew, my brand and then the book,
Absolutely, and she got into Ayurveda. In fact, you've actually been a student. There's a lot of knowledge and experience behind this. I mean, even though I say it so lightly, but so Ayurveda, I think all of us are familiar with it today. It's called the science of life. And Ayurveda actually looks at wellness and beauty from a sense of actually becoming more aware of yourself, right? And Kavita today is an entrepreneur of a beauty brand on wellness and self-care. So I want to start, Kavita, by asking you about, from the Ayurveda perspective, she calls it very beautifully, A beauty, right? A capital A, which is Ayurveda beauty.
Yeah, not K beauty.
Which is a Korean concept, right? So tell me about the concept of beauty. You had told me that Ayurveda has 3 pillars of beauty. Could you just tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, with pleasure. So, when we think of beauty, when we dress up, when you want to put lipstick and mascara and kajal and blusher and even contouring, we just feel that we're being self-indulgent, and, itna makeup. But think about it, Ayurveda talks about sola shringar, so celebrating being a woman, being a man, being, whatever orientation you have, it's about celebrating beauty in its truest sense, And, in terms of, so Ayurveda describes beauty as 3 pillars. So you have the first pillar, which is rupam, and we all know rup means outer beauty, symmetry and glow and radiance and all of that. So there's that, the rupam. And then there's gunam. And gunam are, of course, qualities. And those come from inside, like compassion and kindness and, being pure of spirit and heart, nobility, like sattva. So that is the guna part of beauty. And the third one, which I think is the most interesting and not so well known or kind of connected with beauty, is vayasthyag. Which is, many people ask me, so when should one start anti-aging products? What is your favorite anti-age, when I get interviewed, what is your favorite anti-aging product?
Right.
But it's not about anti-aging. Why are you anti-aging? Why aren't you pro-aging? Why aren't you, it's about well-aging. So,
as you said, why don't you embrace the fact that you've been around for so long? Yeah.
Like I say, aging is a privilege. Not everybody gets to age. So just like, we are seeing with the millennials, the Gen Z, there's this whole movement and a paradigm shift with inclusivity, diversity, right?
Sustainability.
Sustainability.
Yes.
We also need to look at aging as something to be, you want to aspire to be aging in a way that is with health and vitality and radiance and joy, So those lines of your face, they, we should be embracing them and we should be celebrating them. So Vayasthyag is that pillar of beauty in Ayurveda which celebrates age. If you really break down the word Vayasthyag, so it is beauty that is founded, or how do you explain Vayasthyag? Stable, everlasting. So that's how Ayurveda...
So timeless in a way.
Yes.
Yeah? Super.
Describes beauty. Yeah.
So, Kavita is an entrepreneur. She's got this amazing wellness brand. But I was just telling her, this book, which I would actually urge all of you to buy, it's called Beauty Unbottled. The most amazing thing about Kavita is her generosity. In this book, she has explored skin, all kinds of skin, hair, other things also, sunscreen, etc. When I say explore, sorry,
makeup. Yeah, you can make your own makeup.
When I say explore, she has actually, it's a DIY book about how to make your own. And for an entrepreneur who's actually wanting to sell her products, to be able to share her secret recipes. Amazing, Kavita. So honestly, I mean, depending on what your skin type is, all of it is there in terms of ingredients, how to use the ingredients and make your own packs, lotions, etc. So, you don't really need to go and buy her product.
Yes.
But I guess that talks about a lot of confidence, Kavita.
Yeah. See, I am an accidental entrepreneur. So my whole mission and purpose is firstly, to impact social change through the brand that I have, and equally to promulgate, or whatever words we want to use, to propagate, to raise awareness of Ayurveda. ये हमारा धरोहर है. It's a wealth that we are not proud of. Yoga has come a long way. My own husband used to laugh at me 25 years ago when I said, as I was telling you, yoga reverses atherosclerosis, heart disease. Yoga reduces blood pressure. And the people used to laugh at me. But today, no doctor will laugh at me because yoga has, become mainstream. I'm Indian, you're Indian, we have many Indians, or maybe all Indians in this, no, not all Indians in this audience, but we need to be proud of this wealth, this wisdom, which is timeless, which is time-honored. So I would say, Ayurveda seems very daunting to everybody. It's very obscure, it's very daunting. Even the name itself is such a mouthful. But approach it like, a step at a time, like this huge banyan tree, branch by branch. But it behoves us to learn it. Like, times tables. If you want to learn maths, you have to learn your times tables. Similarly, there's Ritucharya, Dinacharya. You wake up in the morning. What are the few things you should do? Food. What are the 6 tastes? Do we all know what the 6 tastes are? How do they relate to each other? How do they relate? Rasa, as it's called in Ayurveda. How do they relate to your doshas?
Your doshas, yeah.
And my book has a whole chart, which is more skin-oriented, but it overall gives you an idea of where you fall in the 3 doshas. So once you know your doshas and you understand taste, it's fascinating and it's amazing how intuitive it becomes. If you take a Karela is an extreme example, kadwa hai. But you take beans, you take lentils, you take anything, you just get the sense of, how is this going to work for me when it's summer, when it's winter, when it's morning, when it's evening? What do I eat it with? What do I not eat it with? And when I'm eating a meal, where does it fall? What should I eat first? What should I eat in the middle? What should I, finish with?
Right.
So my book talks about all of this, but this is something we all now should know,
So, Kavita, I'm not so sure how many of us, could you just define doshas for us? I mean, we're aware.
We all know what doshas are, right? Anybody doesn't know what doshas are? Everybody knows.
Does everyone know what a dosha is? And do you know what your dosha is? Okay, great. Great. Kapha,
Okay, then,
Pitta, and Vata, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, then if you don't know what your doshas are, then
Figure
you
it out
should
and
know.
get to know.
My book does. So, I have a chart, which I think that's where I've been generous,
Yes.
I could be doing consultations. That's where I think, yeah. Recipes, come on. आपकी नानी दादी जो recipe आपको देती है, आप आँख बंद करके वो use करो, आपको कुछ खरीदने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Really, you do not need to buy skin and hair care.
You know, I was flipping through it and such basic stuff. I didn't know that washing your face with water dries your skin. Do not use water.
But do you all
She
know
talks
that?
about,
That when you wash...
No. And the best cleanser is oil.
Yeah, you all know
Even
that
if you have
also,
an oily
right?
skin. I don't know how many know this, Kavita. Really. Huh?
No, with what?
पानी से और मतलब सूखापन आता है. Dryness बढ़ती है. Kavita.
So to wash your face, अगर आप कोई उपटन बनाते हो जिसमें you have some emolliency, then you can use water and wash your face because then that water is not going to. But if you just use water, अरे जब हम नहाते हैं, don't you feel dry? सिर्फ अगर आप पानी से नहाओ, or if you just wash your face with water, let it dry, water is alkaline. It is what? 7, 8, वहाँ तक जा सकता है. pH level high है, तो it's a given, You need a pH 5.5, balanced for it to be compatible with your skin. And your skin is full of microbiomes, They're all billions and billions feeding off, whether it's your gut, whether it's your skin. And you need to maintain that, which is called the acid mantle. You have to maintain that healthy respect, for the microbiome on your skin. And if you don't, that's when it gets disrupted and then you have all kinds of issues. So that's a very basic thing which we should know. So pani is not, a good thing.
उपटन में aloe vera, it's very basic. Kitchen
आपकी
stuff.
नानी दादी
वो
जो
बताते
किताब में
हैं,
तो
हाँ.
बहुत लिखे हैं, but uptan is, see, a lot of people talk about fruits and things, right? Papaya and this and that, which is all fine, but I have shared authentic Ayurvedic recipes. And then a lot of people say, and I've also given a resource handbook at the end कि आप कहाँ से क्या खरीद सकते हो. So a lot of people say, oh, पर इतना सारा बनाना, वो फिर अपना, अरे घर में मूंग दाल पड़ी है, उसको पीसो, एक डब्बे में डालो और बाथरूम में डाल दो, आपको, you don't need to buy a body wash. And the other part, the responsibility part, is what really floats my boat. आप ये सोचो, आप जो sunscreen लगाते हो आजकल, especially with skincare, right? Don't walk out without sunscreen. But so mindlessly, I'm sorry to say, आप जाके drugstore से खरीदते हो, आपको पता है उसमें क्या है? आप खुद के लिए, sorry, I'm speaking in Hindi now.
There's so many chemicals in it. Yeah.
So many chemical blockers that even if you say it's okay, I don't care, dose makes the poison, itna thoda hai, nothing's going to happen to my skin. But when you're washing off, and daily you are washing off your personal care, all your, I don't want to use brand names, but you are using gels, for your hand, for your body, where is it all going? Have we ever thought of it? Our responsibility to the environment, to the planet that we inhabit, that we have to leave behind for our future generations, where is it all going? What about our oceans? So one might say, I live in a landlocked place, ocean kitna dur hai, mujhe kya padi hai, I'm vegetarian, I don't eat seafood, the microplastics are never going to come back into my body. But the oceans give you some 50% of the oxygen. We have a very symbiotic relationship with our planet. So what we are doing, mindlessly consuming, applying, right. That's the other element of also, living a very Ayurvedic or, if not lifestyle, at least, consuming or using things that are very, in a very Ayurvedic way. When I say Ayurvedic way, what I mean is in a very environmentally friendly way. Because that is the true... when our sages and seers like Charaka, Vagbhatta, Sushruta, all of them, when they were writing these books and giving us this timeless wisdom, it was, sustainability was inherently a part of it.
Right. Yeah. So, and another thing I just wanted to share, because Ayurveda really talks about the gut and how important it is for your general wellness. This one little thing about hair care, and we're talking about premature graying, especially with the younger generation right now, and we say, oh, there's pollution, there's stress, etc. what Kavita says is that if you do something called nasyam,
Yeah,
right?
Nasya.
Nasya.
Yeah.
Right. Would you like to tell us what nasya is?
So Nasya is again, okay, Ritucharya is seasonal, every season, like, in the winters we wear warm clothes. In the winters you eat, because your digestive, the Jathar Agni is, the digestive fire is high, it burns bright. So you can eat more, and you should be eating more. In the summers it's manda, it's weak, so you eat appropriately less. So same thing with dinacharya, what you do in the morning, from the time you wake up to the time you sleep, there are certain things you should do. One of the things that Ayurveda prescribes for the morning is nasyam. And theek hai, there are certain nasyam classical recipes in the textbooks which you can buy, which you can make. Bhaiya, aap तिल का तेल ले लो ना, वो तो लेके लगाओ, it's called pratimarsha. Simple oil with your little finger, you just rub it, inside. Not even rub, just massage the
drops.
Drops nahi, not those. But you can do the medicated drops, which are the Ayurvedic drops, which you should use every day. It's excellent to de-stress. There are myriad, health benefits of doing nasya, which is something we don't do. It is so alien, Oil pulling gandusha has recently become de rigueur, right? It's quite popular. It's amazing. How many of you all have done gandusha, oil pulling, swishing oil around your mouth? How amazing is it, right? My goodness. I even feel that my eyes sparkle. The whites are whiter.
Yeah.
Ears, yes. Nabhi में भी. Nabhi में भी आपको तेल डालना चाहिए. So, yeah. बिल्कुल, And also, if you do the nasyam, which is the proper with the recipe, it's good for insomnia, it's good for de-stressing, it is good for vision. आपको sinus के issues हैं. There are just so many. Yeah. So talking about premature graying, also there are nasyam recipes for premature graying. But that is only if you're like my age, or when you're like say 22, 23, and you're getting premature graying, then there is your kapha has really, your pitta has gone down, kapha. So you have this premature graying that comes out, it's reversible. It is reversible.
You also talk about bald patches, thinning hair.
So of course. So even alopecia areata, it is classic, it is known, and it is so many Ayurvedic doctors are वो alopecia आपके दाढ़ी पे आ सकते हैं, आपके सर पे कितने. It is an autoimmune disorder, and it is absolutely reversible. So you don't need to go and do minoxidil and take those injections. Please don't do that. Go to a proper Ayurvedic doctor, and it will be reversed. Your bald patches will be gone. Babchi, जो आजकल रेटिनॉल बाकुचियोल बहुत चला हुआ है, but babchi it's actually a very this herb is not to be played around with. काफी खतरनाक herb है ये, ऐसे ही नहीं तो but it is, and it's one of the key ingredients in minoxidil.
So I have to say that this woman is a walking, talking encyclopedia. You really need to tap into her wisdom, experience. So Kavita, I have to just say, and as a wrap up, because this was a trailer, the rest of it you need to, catch her.
Happy to answer questions after the session.
Affinity for bees, trees, dark chocolate.
And
right? Final last words from you, Kavita, before we wrap up. Oh, by the way, and she's there for book signing. So if you have questions, you can catch hold of her and ask her while she's signing.
Final words. I think I'd like to hear from you guys.
Okay.
How are you going to incorporate Ayurveda in your daily life? Come on, guys. Anyone?
Well, one person, we really don't have time for. We're running short of. Okay, would you like to then?
Hello.
Oh, Ram Pratap ji, बोलिए. आपकी नानी दादी ने बता दिया आपको.
Exactly, my mother. कि इस मौसम में ये खाना, इस मौसम में ये नहीं खाना. So this timeless wisdom has just existed in all our old homes, especially in Rajasthan.
Right.
So all we're going to do, and we followed it till now, with your information, we'll brush it up and do more.
Absolutely. It's an incredible book. You'll keep it with
Thank
you.
you.
I'm your agent, Kavita. Thank
Sweet.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.